we're going to look at the G major pentatonic scale in two different positions. First one's going to be at the 0 fret. In other words, we're going to play the strings are going to be a lot of open strings, okay? And so let's look at that. So it's the one in your chart. It's going to be the one pattern on the left. So I'm going to start with open E, E3, A, open A1, A2, D, open D2, G, open G2, G3, B, open B3, E, open E3. Okay, so that's our pattern that we're going to play right there. Now, that I think of that as a G over a G pattern, G scale, G chord like this. So it fits over that pretty good. All right. Now, our other pattern that we're going to use, and I use them kind of interchangeably, is I'm going to play an F shape at the 3rd fret. So that's another G chord. And this pattern would go E3, E5, E6, A2, A5, D2, D5, G2, 4, 5, and then B is 3, 5, and E is 3, 5. E5 and E6 on that. So one more time. Okay, so that's that G major pentatonic over an F shape at the third fret, or a G chord, but played as an E, as an F at the 3rd. Okay, so those are the two patterns that we're going to be using here. All right, let's look at how we're playing this over Sweet Home Alabama. We're going to use that for a kind of a background. All right, so the first chord, the first opening part of Sweet Home Alabama, we're going to make a D chord, and we're going to play the open D twice. And we're going to play the 2 on the E, and then the 3 on the B. All right, next one's going to be a C chord. We're going to play the A at 3, B at 1, and then G open. And the last one's going to be over the G chord. We're going to play the E on 3 twice, and the chord. And then we're going to go open A, A2, D open, G open, back to D2, open, A2. So real slow that part. The opening lick to that. So that would sound like this. All right, now let's get into some licks. Okay, this one is over the G major pentatonic based off the 3rd fret. So I'm going to take my ring finger, I'm going to start on the B at 3 and slide to 5. And then I'm going to take my ring finger again, I'm going to bend E at 6, 5, 3, 5 on the B, and back to 3 again on the E, which is my root. So that part again is okay, and then to close that out, I'm going to take my first finger and I'm going to slide on the 4 at G down to 2, and then D on the 5, which is my root again. So that part again, take your first finger all the way down. Okay, so here's that part. Alright, so that's a little riff there. Now, the next ones are over, the next patterns I'm going to play the D over a D, a C, and a G. So part of those are over a D chord, a C chord, and a G. So not all those notes are going to be in the G major pentatonic. A lot of them are going to be, but they're basically over the chords. So the D chord, the C chord, and the G. So the first one is going to be this pattern. Okay, so let's break that down. So I'm going to play, I'm holding down the G and the B at 3, and I'm going to hammer on the G at 4, and then play the B at 3. So 3 to 4 on the G, and then the B on 3. Do that twice. Now I come back to the 3 on the B on the G again. Okay, 3 to 4 hammer, 3 to 4 hammer, back to 3 on the G. Okay, now that's over the D. Over the A, I'm going to play open G. I'm sorry, open D, hammer on 2, and then back to open G. So open G, open D, hammer to 2, G, open D, hammer to 2, G, and then just end on the D at 2. And now I'm going to take that D at 2 and slide it to 5. So here's that little riff all together. So it goes. Okay, so that was over the D, over the C, and then over the G. All right, so that would be D, C, and G. All right, now let's look at the next one. Just a little ending on that. We're gonna walk down. Just do a triplet, 4, 3, 2 on the G, back to D5. So you can either slide it. I kind of like to play them all. Okay, so that's that little riff right there. Now the next part we're going to play over a D. We're going to start way up here in F shape at the 10th fret. So we're going to slide from 9 to 11 on the G, and then play 10 on B and E twice. So it goes. Okay, 9 to 11, and then B and E twice on 10. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do this over the C chord. We're going to start on 7, hit that, and then slide to the 9 and play the 8s on B and E. So it's like this. Okay, 7 to 9, and then 8s. All right, and now to get to the G, this is going to be my G chord that I'm going to end up with. So I'm going to start actually here with a D shape at the 5th fret, and I'm just going to play the single note on G at 5 and slide to 7, and then I'm going to play 7 and 8 on the, or 8 and 7 on the B and E. So it's going to be this. So here's those go again. Now we're going to do a walk down from this G shape down to this G shape. And how do we do that? Okay, I'm going to play just the G and the E. Just the G and E. I'm not playing the B on this. I'm going to hybrid pick. I'm going to pick, you can use just your straight fingers. I'm going to hold the pick and play the G string with my pick, and my second finger is going to play the high E. I'm going to go 7s, 6, 5s, and then I'm going to make that like a mini F, 3 and 4 on the 3 on the G and 4 on the G and 3 on the E. So it goes. Okay, so here's that whole bit. Okay, you can either play that chord or just play that. You can play the G and the E, or play the whole little chord there. All right, one more time on that. All right. So now this one is over a C chord to start with. We're going to play 5, 7, 5. We're going to do that twice and end up on the 7 back on the B. So it's like this. 5, 5, 7, 5 hammer to 7 on the B, and then 5 on the E, and you do that twice, and you end up on the B on 7. Okay, same thing here. We're going to hammer on the 3 to 5 to 3, and end up back on the 5 on the B. So 3, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay? And now we're just going to simply start here at 4 on G, 5 on the B, and we're just going to slide up to 7 and 8. So that little run goes this way. Okay? So that's enough to get you going there, so you can have some fun with that. And again, interchanging the G pattern, the G-shaped pattern here, and the E-shape or F-shaped pattern here is kind of fun to do too, so we'll get into that. All right, enjoy, and I hope that helps you out a little bit.